I love your idea of the three city problem. It's such a good remix of the three body problem, which is that we have Athens, which is sort of the Church of Reason. We have Jerusalem, which is faith, and then Silicon Valley, the three cities. And Silicon Valley is technology, right? And technology has kind of come in, and I think you've pointed this out to me, or at least made me aware of it. You sort of see like reason and religion have coexisted for thousands of years, and they've sort of figured out how to live with each other, especially in the US. I think the US is probably a good example. But then technology sometimes tries to be all of those things at once, right? Where we abdicate ourselves to technology. And you can see it in tech leaders. They try to, like, crypto is our God, blockchain is our God, AI is our God. It's like, no, we need to figure out how these all connect. Am I sense making your version of the idea in a right way? And like, what would you add there?
Yeah, you definitely are. So I think of Athens as, the city of reason. Jerusalem is not just faith, let's just say spirituality, right? Or
Yeah.
an openness to things that can't be explained by reason alone. Like wonder would really exist in Jerusalem. And Silicon Valley, as you said, is technology, but it's also utility, doing things that are just useful. And I've spent a lot of time in all three. And I've been siloed in various ways in all three, where there's not a lot of contact with the others. So I know a lot of people in Silicon Valley that have no contact with any form of spiritual life or spiritual people whatsoever, right? Everything is what's practical, what's going to make money, what's useful, and how can we make progress with the tech. I know people in Jerusalem, I know people inside of my own church that just really don't have any interest in innovation. Just don't have any contact with innovation. That's a problem, because innovation is a good thing, is a positive thing. And then there are people in Athens, right, like inside of universities and academia, who just really don't have any contact with either of those other two cities. Right? They're just like writing these long papers that are, just like circular references, and they're not sort of exposed to any kind of innovation or anything that transcends the limits of like reason alone, which can become very circular because reason needs to be open to more than reason. This is a central point. Like reason, where's reason going? What are we doing with it? Sam Altman tweeted like yesterday, or he didn't tweet, he said it in a thing. He was like, well, what I've realized is that intelligence, which I take him to mean reason, like reason can just sort of become this detached thing completely, and then we can just put it inside of computers, and that's basically AI is just going to. And it's like, well, no, you can't just detach reason from from embodiment, right? From like the human person. Like, what is it for, right? So this disintegration has been a topic that's been fascinating me for a long time. Because like whenever I feel disintegrated, it's usually because I'm like all in one of those three cities. And I feel most whole when I'm sort of finding a way to live at the intersection with all of them. So this is fundamentally, I think this is one of the big problems of our time. I think all of the big debates about AI are happening without any involvement of Jerusalem whatsoever. And Jerusalem can propose answers for the teleology in the end, like what does this all mean? They at least need to be at the table. And like going back to earlier in the conversation, there's no bridges. There's simply no way to get from one to the other. People have a hard time, as you said, like somehow transcending whatever world that they spend most of their time in. And I'm trying to bring people together. And this whole thing that I'm organizing in November this year, I always hate mentioning dates on podcasts because I know people listen to this, will be listening to this next year too, probably. But I'm hosting this event. I'm trying the whole framework, my whole mental model is to get all three of those cities in the same room having interesting conversations with each other. And I just know that good things are going to happen. And I'm not making it up. I test this in my own life every week to the extent that I can, right, in various ways. And I know that that's when all of the most interesting things happen, whether it's just good conversation, engaging real conversations, innovation. I mean, if I was going to start another company, I would probably want representation from Athens, Jerusalem, and Silicon Valley.
If you like that clip, you can click somewhere up around here for the full episode. And don't forget to subscribe to get alerts for full episodes and clips of the Pathless Path video podcast.